Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm back at it again with another video. Timestamps are down in the description box below if you want to get directly into the review. Otherwise, take this ride with me for a second, okay? Because apparently our good old pal Tony Khan is closing in on some big news, some really big news, a special announcement, if you will, okay? Some coke-fueled special announcements being made, okay? Apparently, Ring of Honor and what the fuck? Is that how you supposed to say it? Okay, whatever. Let me read it again. Report. Ring of Honor and negotiations for new broadcast deal. I swear, I only said it like that because I swear someone told me that they were closing in or actually closed the negotiations in itself. But okay, whatever. This title says something completely different though. A long-awaited broadcast deal for Ring of Honor reportedly might actually be around the corner. The Tony Khan-owned wrestling brand has reportedly been pursuing a broadcast agreement, with Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter reporting that, and I quote, negotiations are close. While no information about how far out the brand might be to a new deal or who it could be with, Meltzer noted that rumors have been floated regarding True TV as a potential buyer. ROH hasn't aired weekly programming on traditional broadcast television since 2022, shortly after Sinclair Broadcast Group sold the wrestling brand to Khan. After starting as a brand integrated into AEW programming with its own quarterly pay-per-views, ROH's weekly show returned in early 2000. We know this shit already. No need to fucking stretch out the fucking article, Mr. Jack. My name is, look at me. My name is Jack. Okay, I'm sorry. Lost in the sauce there. So I mean, in the end of the day, I guess that's pretty good news. I mean, is it gonna make any dent at all in the pro wrestling world? No. Do you guys who are listening to this information give even the slightest fuck? No. Do I give the slightest fuck? No. Am I gonna review it? No. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily affect me at all. I mean, I don't know. I just don't really have a focus on things like that personally. I mean, if it's ROH, that's not just a niche. That is literally telling you that it's for a niche. So I just look at it like, if you enjoy that programming, I mean, I wish they would take everything that they're doing on Dynamite from a philosophy standpoint and put all of that on ROH, so those types of fans can actually enjoy that product. And then you can use Dynamite for like the mainstream stuff, you know, the flagship program, the flagship brand in itself that's trying its best theoretically to compete with WWE. I mean, you're never going to compete with them, but actually, or be in competition with them, but at least attempt. You know what I mean? Take all of that stupid mark stuff and put that all on ROH and focus directly on the damn product in regards to the content not being strictly produced as far as the in-ring stuff is considered. Because if that's what you want to consider continuing doing at the moment, then what's even the point of ROH? I mean, I really don't see the point of ROH if you're essentially going to take everything optically from the brand in itself and continue doing that niche product on Dynamite. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, in my opinion, I kind of hope this deal goes through in more ways than one, specifically because maybe this might change the philosophy of Tony Khan. I mean, it's a stretch, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe he does take that marquee Dave Meltzer branded type of way of thinking and just putting all that on ROH, and maybe we can focus more on stories and character development on Dynamite. But it's just a long shot. I mean, in the end of the day, this deal ain't hurting nobody. No one really cares. So, I mean, congratulations. But, I mean, who cares in the end of the day, right? I mean, it's better than being on Tubi, right? That's the rumors that I heard they were going to be. I mean, to be fair, also, Dave Meltzer's reporting on this. So, who's to even say that this is actually necessarily true? But whether it's true or not true, it doesn't really make a dent, or I just don't care. But with that being said, let's get on with the show. We got a lot to cover, and I want to get this shit over with. I wish with some of these Bloodline storyline matches, I don't mind what they're trying to do as far as telling a story. It just feels at this point kind of formulaic. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to tell the story in the manner of how you want to tell the story, kind of like, you know, spice it up a little tiny bit, right? Kind of do this and do that and do this. Like, you don't have to make it like every match be like a monologue. You know what I'm trying to say? Not to say that it was bad. I'm not suggesting that it was bad. I'm suggesting that it just feels very predictable in regards to how the match is going to be mapped out. And I just wish they would kind of change up the pace a little tiny bit as far as how they do it. Because I don't mind cerebral. I don't mind methodical matches. But when you do it every single match, it kind of loses its luster. You know what I mean? Especially if nothing is going to come out of it in regards to the finish in itself. So to be fair, I'm going to knock a couple of points off because I didn't really enjoy the match in itself. Because it just felt very contrived. It felt like they were trying to get from point A to point B. And mind you, the point B was a big deal. But, you know, like, their matches, man, it's like when they first did it with Roman and Jay, like 4 years ago at, what was it, Payback, I think? Maybe not Payback. Or was it, no, I think it was Clash of Champions, right? That's when Jay and Roman had their first match. I could be wrong, though. I very well could be wrong. But when it happened around that time, it felt cool because you've never really seen it. And because of the ambiance of the actual stadium in itself, it just accentuated whatever they were doing. Now that it's 4 years later, I don't know. I feel like it kind of hit its peak after Cody and Roman. That type of style of wrestling, the showmanship, that's the showmanship style. That's the American style, just turned up to 10. You know, very drama-esque. It just didn't really fit anything because, like, there was nothing really pinpoint to really make you like, okay, with Roman and Cody, for an example, right? Every spot that they did that played up into something, it was a false finish, it was an interference, it was something special occurring. It felt like they just did it for the sake of doing it. Not to mention, you did get a couple of botches too, most notably that kick out spot where Roman got hit with the Samoan spike. And I guess, I mean, shit happens, man. Jimmy missed his cue. He didn't break up the count in time, and the spot looked bad. It looked really bad. I think it had to force Roman to kick out a little tiny bit, but you know, it is what it is. Shit happens. You know, they ain't the first, they ain't gonna be the last to mess up a pinfall spot. But nevertheless, though, afterwards, Solo did get the win. You know, he ended up hitting the Samoan spike on Roman twice in order to get it. Which was good. You know, I expected this to be the outcome. I think I predicted that the Bloodline was going to win, the new Bloodline. So that's a good outcome. And then afterwards, they started to antagonize Roman by wearing the Ulafala around their neck right above Roman Reigns, who's seen this, and he reacted by trying to get it off of Solo, fighting him and everything. Then the guy started jumping him. Then all the other Bloodline members started to get involved, and it ended up being a brawl for a little bit, but then like the new Bloodline just completely overtook the old Bloodline. Eventually, they separated Jey Uso from the rest of the pack, put him in the corner, put the chair around his neck, very similar to how Solo did Jimmy earlier this year when they took him out. And they were going to do the whole little Pillmanizer spot, but with the Samoan hips, the hip attack that Umaga used to do. They were going to do that in a Pillmanizing way before Sami Zayn comes down, right? He comes in the ring, and it looks like that he was going to, I don't know, like embrace Solo Sikoa. But when him and Solo went for a hug, he immediately grabbed him and hit him with an exploder. And then he started to clear house. They all started to clear house. Eventually, Solo Sikoa was in the middle of the ring between the original Bloodline members, Sami, Roman, Jay, and Jimmy, all in four corners. Roman and Sami had something in mind, and they both ran. One with a big boot being Sami. The other one, I think Roman was going for a spear, but it could have also been a Superman punch. Nevertheless, though, they both met in the middle, and Solo got out of the way, and Sami ended up big booting Roman in the face, right? Which obviously got a reaction to Jimmy Uso. He's like, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell are you doing? He's confronting Sami about it. Jay is telling him to chill the hell out because that's his homeboy. But Jimmy's telling him, like, I'm your brother. And it's just a whole commotion. And Sami, you know, it's very chaotic. It's very, very chaotic. And then Sami left the ring very disheveled. Almost has a look on his face like, why the fuck did I involve myself in this kind of shit? You know what I mean? So that's going to be kind of cool playing out as far as the fallout going into War Games. Because one thing I did think to myself when I seen all this, I did think to myself at first, like, damn, I feel like they're kind of rushing the Jey Uso thing. Because I know that him and Roman somewhat kind of rejoiced a little bit last night.
And I was just saying to myself, like, damn, bro, I kind of feel like you guys are doing this way too fast. Like, you can let this go a little bit longer before you just have them rejoice like this. This shit could have went on for like another month. Remember, I don't know if you're familiar with the date, but Survivor Series is in the 30th. We still got damn near in like an entire month before we get the Survivor Series. I just felt like they could have played out a little bit longer. But if the whole caveat to all this is that they're trying to get Sami Zayn to come back into the bloodline, because it's not just, Jay who was betrayed, also Sami Zayn was also betrayed. So if that's the whole thing that they're trying to do, is get Sami involved, but then Roman doesn't want him involved, but then Jay is homeboys with Sami, but then he's brothers with Jimmy, but Jimmy's gonna side with Roman, but Sami and Jimmy were actually at first good friends before, and really it was Sami and Jimmy, and then Jay was the one who was the one irritated with Sami. I'm okay with that. There's a bunch of nuances and a bunch of paths taken if Sami's going to get involved in all this. And I feel like they can map this out a little bit longer, knowing that now they're going to include Sami with this. So I'm okay with that. At first, I was kind of like, what the fuck? But nah, I can excuse it now that you're bringing Sami into the fold. But, okay, that looks like we are now set off to the races for War Games. It's pretty clear now it's going to be the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. And, like I said, I still got it back in my mind. Paul Heyman, folks. Do not forget about Paul Lee. Just saying. But with that being said, it was a fine match. Again, it was for nothing else. It was just to forward the story of the Bloodline. I can appreciate the post-match stuff, so I'll include that within the ratings. Just the match in itself was very paint by numbers when it comes to the Bloodline. I wish they would do more outside of just consistently focusing on that type of storytelling. But it is what it is. We got our cliffhanger, and I guess we have to tune in to Raw and SmackDown. Theoretically Raw, because Sami's on Raw, to get the full context of this story. But we'll get to there when we get there. With that being said, the Fatal 4-Way Women's match is coming up next, so let's get to that. You know what I find funny about this match, honestly? That you have Bianca and Jade in the match, right? And you have Io and Kairi in the match. At least within the context of this match, those two teams are the veterans, right? Within this context, those are the two veterans. And then you have Jakari Jackson and Lash Legend. They're the newcomers, right? And theoretically, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, they're just the normal team for the most part, as far as time consumed being on the roster is, right? Why the fuck did I feel like the veterans in the match were the ones being carried by, Chelsea and Piper and Mercedes and fucking goddamn, I keep getting there. I'm sorry. Jakari Jackson, not Sasha Banks. She is absolutely not Sasha Banks. No matter how many times it kept confusing me watching her in the ring, no matter how many times I kept thinking that she was Sasha Banks, she is definitely not Sasha Banks. It's just crazy. It really just boggled the mind. This match, though, in itself, they didn't necessarily tell a story. It was just like, they'll do a spot and maybe it succeeds, then they'll do another spot and then it botches. Then they'll do a spot and then it succeeds, then they do another spot, then it botches. It just kept going back and forth like that. It was a very sloppy match. This match felt very, very sloppy. Honestly, the best person, if I had to single out an MVP once again, because she gets this, Chelsea Green is fucking fantastic. I said it once and I'll say it again. And that girl, Lash Legend, she ain't too bad herself also. But as far as who starred in this match, who's shown it, bro, Chelsea Green is great. She's great. She's the only one that gets it. She gets it. She's a character and she fucking gets it. I love Chelsea Green. I love her. I think she's great. That fucking spot where she looks like she's gonna go for a moonsault, and then she's like, no, let's try this on the second rope. No, let's get on the apron. Okay, so in order to do a moonsault, you have to go back like this. I like that. I fuck with that. And then I like how she always, she does the spots where, she'll get, completely and utterly fucking destroyed without even trying. So, she'll be getting hurt. And it's not even happening on purpose. She just gets caught in the middle every time. I love that shit. She does that plenty of times. I love that spot from her. She's just a great sympathetic character. If she ever wants to turn a full-on babyface, I think she would be. And she's a good wrestler on top of that too. She kind of reminds me of Santino Marella. Just she knows how to wrestle. But unfortunately, there were a couple of botches in this match. Notably Kairi Sane and Io trying that over the head throw into the superplex spot, which completely failed like absolutely fucking miserably. And like damn near fucking like Jakari Jackson not cashing, I think it was Kyrie, right? When Lash Legend, that was impressive. Lash Legend just shooting up Kyrie in the air like that onto her shoulders from the back. That was fucking really impressive. But, you know, she threw her up in the air to be caught in a power bomb. But I guess Sasha Banks, I mean, I gotta stop doing that. Jakari Jackson didn't cash her the appropriate manner, and she damn near broke Kairi Sane. We need a counter, bro. I feel like every match Kairi Sane participates in, it's like she's always on the brink of ending her career in every goddamn match she participates in. I can't be the only one that's seen this, right? And, you know, like I said, overall, the match in itself, they keep trying to do what the men do as far as spots are considered, and it's like they're not good at it. They're just not good at it. They're very, very bad at doing spots. And I get it, they want to stand out, but man, if you aren't gonna do it right, just don't do it at all, man. Just don't do it at all. And something else also too, man. Look, I get it. At the end of the day, you want to help out Jade as much as possible because eventually you want Jade in the same position as Bianca Belair, right? But goddamn, how much of this has got to be by far? Is it even a question? This is Bianca Belair's worst year, right? This is by far her worst year of her entire main roster run, maybe of her WWE career. Because even at least in NXT, like she was presented as a threat multiple times. This right here, man. Look, if you're gonna put this much stock into Bianca Belair, like, I get it. I understand. You want her to pretty much mentor Jade, but damn, bro, you ain't got to drop her stock as low as you fucking dropped it, man. Like, Bianca Belair is one, not even just in WWE, she's one of the featured women wrestlers in the entire world. And, you know, just to see her stock drop so drastically because you want to get Jade over so badly. I understand wanting to get Jade over, but man, did it have to come at the cost of fucking over Bianca Belair? Man, she's been in this position all year. I'm a big fan of Bianca Belair. I don't talk about it all too much, but I'm a fan of Bianca Belair. So to see her in a position like this, it does suck, man. But that's just a little bit of a mini rant. But this match, it wasn't that good to me, honestly. But hopefully we get some better matches as the show continues on. Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed looks like they're coming up next. So let's get to it. All right, first things first, before we even talk about this match, shout out to Bronson Reed. He's real as fuck for that gear, bro. I peeped that real quick. He real as fuck for that gear, bro. That's villain. That's villain on that logo right there in the front, bro. I see what he's doing, bro. Yo, MF Doom, his anniversary just passed. Like, I think he died on Halloween, actually, believe it or not. This would have been his 4-year anniversary. His 3 or 4 year anniversary. I think it's his 4-year anniversary. I think he died in 2020. And the fact that he's wearing MF Doom's gear, bro, I fuck with that a lot. I'm a big MF Doom guy, bro. And to say, actually, I'm finna use one beer for an instrumental later on. I already downloaded it. But, you know, he's real as fuck for that gear, man. Actually, I see him and Seth debating right now, inside and outside of the ring. So hopefully this does continue. I mean, Bronson Reed looks like a badass right now, bleeding from the side of his head like that. He looks badass. Oh, Bronson Reed is calling him back in the ring. He wants more, and Seth Rollins is backing away like a little bitch. Okay, that's a nice way to at least sell it a little tiny bit. I can appreciate that. I still disagree with the fact that Bronson Reed should have lost the match. But the manner of how he lost it and the fact that he's telling Seth Rollins to get back in the ring and Seth Rollins is walking away, I can appreciate that. The match in itself was fine, though. This was good. This was solid. This is a very, very solid match. They let everything breathe. A lot of high impactful moves. I fuck with that spinning powerbomb that Bronson Reed did to Seth Rollins. That was dope as fuck. You only see shit like that in video games. That was like a doctor bomb a little bit. Not like a real doctor bomb. Not like, you know, what they call test finisher, or what they call like Kane's old finisher, like a real doctor bomb, where he'll grab you from the waist, lift you up, and then spin you, not just grabbing you from the waist and then like he's gonna go for an amateur move or something. No, he grabs you from the waist, lifts you up into a powerbomb, spins around, then drops you in a sit out. That's a real Dr. Bomb. Haven't seen that since, since Steve Williams was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But nevertheless, though, that spot, the fact that the only thing that I didn't really appreciate, I didn't like how they start the match off necessarily. Not the brawling, but when they got back into the ring and Bronson Reed hit the tsunami splash immediately just to go to do another one, and then Seth rolls out of the way. And then he hits the stump. I did not appreciate that at all. That was so unnecessary. That didn't add any value to the match. That did nothing but hurt Bronson Reed's finisher. Did not appreciate that at all. But with that being said, the match in itself, very good. Very solid. The guys beat the dog shit out of each other. You had Seth Rollins bleeding from his back. You had Bronson Reed bleeding from the side of his face. I like how they kept setting up. See, the story of the match was not just Seth Rollins getting brutalized, but it was Seth Rollins trying to play. And that's what I mean. This is the difference between AEW and WWE. You can see the wrestlers in WWE tell you the story as it's playing out. You don't need the announcers to highlight it for you. You can see the wrestlers playing out the match. You know what I mean? Playing out the story. Whereas AEW, they have to interject something that doesn't really feel like it's related to anything in regards to what they're doing in the ring because it's inconsistent. You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to tell me that this guy is telling a story as far as playing mind games with him, but the guy who's playing mind games with him is the one, for the most part, on offense. He's the one doing all the flips and dives. That makes no sense. Mind games would theoretically be on defense. But that's neither here nor there. My point being is, the story of this match, as far as what they were trying to play throughout this, was Seth Rollins trying to get Bronson Reed irritated to the point where he can slip up. Because there's no way Seth Rollins is going to match power with Bronson Reed. That's not going to happen. So he figured, just keep agitating him, keep agitating him, keep agitating him, keep agitating him, to the point where he picked up some stairs because he kept kicking out of Seth, because Seth kept kicking out of his moves, and Seth ended up drop toe holding him, and his face hit the stairs with full force, and then Seth came in and hit him with the stump while he was on the stairs, which cut his eye open, right? Really, really badly. And then Seth got back into the ring, and he was going to get a count out before he slid back into the ring, Bronson Reed that is. Seth hit him with another stump, then another stump, then got on the turnbuckle and hit a super stomp, and that's what put Bronson Reed away. Again, I still disagree with the premise that Bronson Reed should have won this match, or should have lost this match, but if the end goal in the conclusion, because it doesn't seem like this feud is over with, if the end goal is that Bronson Reed is going to have another match with Seth, and then he beats him, and then we get a rubber match at probably Survivor Series, and then he wins that match too, I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, if Bronson Reed has another match with Seth, and he loses that match also, we're going to have some problems. We're going to have some problems. This should be your route right now to be creating new stars, okay? This should be your route right now. Don't have Seth fucking win the next match. I'll excuse it this time, okay? But the next time they have a match, Bronson Reed damn sure better win that match. But nevertheless, though, I thought this was a fine match. And it's going to be hard for me to hate on this anyways, just from the fact that Bronson Reed showed out like that. Not just the match in itself, but just that attire. That was dope as fuck. That was really, really dope. You don't see wrestlers go out of their way to like portray like the golden age, like, legit hip hop, like, like actual rappers who knew what the fuck that they were doing. And, no one ever gives MF Doom his props. So it's nice to see somebody repping villain like that. So good on him on that part, but also good match. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling this match all too much, to be honest with you. I'm the kind of guy where I don't mind overbooked stuff, because in the grand scheme of things, the whole purpose of overbooking is to tell a broader story. I never really understood people who had a fixation as far as making it a negative thing in regards to matches being overbooked. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. I get it if you have a fixation on what should be a conclusion and you want that conclusion to play out in a specific manner. But I think the over broadening of generalizing overbooked stuff happening in matches being a negative thing, I don't know. I just think that's kind of ignorant. I think that's kind of closed-minded, because this match was overbooked as hell. And it's like, it's not that it necessarily was bad because of the overbooking. It was bad because it felt dull. The crowd wasn't really reacting to anything besides Tiffany Stratton, honestly. And it just it just didn't flow all too well. The finish came off very you know, like I don't know. I mean, Liv and Nia, it's not as if that they, you know, botched or performed wrong or anything like that. It's just it just felt like a Raw match. I think that's the best way to explain it. It just felt like a Raw match. It was boring. I think that's the number one word I would use to describe this match. It was just boring. It was very boring. You know, they tried to spice it up a little tiny bit with, like I said, Tiffany Stratton coming out to cash in, because no one knew who she was trying to cash in on, whether it was Nia, whether it was Liv. The referee was asking her who, Nia Jax. She confronted Tiffany about cashing in. Tiffany was trying to, you know, reassure her that she was not cashing in on her, but then Nia was telling her it's not the right time. Again, this also, it's like, you know, her body language is different from the words that she's saying. Like, one minute it looks like she's aggressive, then the next minute it looks like she's calm or concerned, then the next minute her calm and concerned demeanor is conflating with words that don't really mean like it. Like, she's calm, but she's like, just go. But she's walking up to her all aggressive, like, cause she's like, it's not the right time, Tiffany. It's so weird. Like, her mannerisms are fucking off as shit. It was confusing the hell out of me, bruh. Nevertheless, though, she kicks Tiffany Stratton out, which she didn't even kick her out in that much of an aggressive manner, if you ask me. But Tiffany took it to heart and she left, and the crowd was chanting for her to come back. And she came back down to the ring like she was going to cash in again before Raquel Gonzalez stopped her. And they were kind of having a tug of war with it before Nia Jax got involved. And then Raquel Gonzalez pulled her neck on the rope and then gave her a bit of a shotgun, right? Or a stun gun, excuse me. But then she backed up into the ropes, and it looked like she was gonna do something from the looks of it. I couldn't tell what she was gonna do. But then Raquel Gonzalez booted her in the face, and I think Dominic Mysterio, or something happened with the briefcase where Dominic Mysterio kind of distracted her, or distracted the referee with the briefcase, and then the referee was taking it out before Raquel Gonzalez kicked her in the head, which set up Nia to take the Oblivion, which looked really, really fucking ugly. That was a very, very ugly looking Oblivion. And it's not because of Liv Morgan, it's because of Nia Jax, because she's so damn big. Like, she looks awkward as fuck taking the move. And not to mention, just the Oblivion is just a horrible move anyways. That's a terrible fucking finish. But she won the match, and she's the crown jewel champion. You know, like, this, again, the inconsistencies in regards to character. I mean, you and Raquel just beat the dog shit out of Rhea Ripley, right? Like, you're supposed to be this badass and whatnot, and now you're crying in the ring because you're the inaugural champion. Then the Hills are clapping and stuff like it's. Nothing about this match really sat well with me. This is bad. This is really bad. I didn't fuck with this match at all. I thought it was a boring match. I thought the story that they were trying to tell did not hit the way that they probably thought it was going to hit. I thought the finish was garbage. And I thought that the characters just fucking straight up fucking non-canon right there in the middle of canon, right? But nah, this wasn't it. This was terrible. And hopefully you have more competent people in that spot to have a match like that if you were expecting it to be something crazy. Then again, it is Saudi Arabia. Maybe they didn't give a shit about it at all, and maybe they just had the match for the sake of having the match. But with that being said, coming up next, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Let's get it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I thoroughly enjoyed everything that just happened here. I'm going to tell you why everything that just happened here was perfect. So, people are going to sit here and they're going to probably bitch, complain, groan, and moan that they didn't get a match between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture, okay? Survivor Series is around the corner. Why waste one of your biggest storylines currently in the company on a show that's for the most part going to be overshadowed by what most likely might be one of the biggest matches of the year from an in-ring perspective within Gunther and Cody, and the storyline with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, and overall just this stupid crown jewel bullshit going on right now, right? This is something that you most likely want to get Cody Rhodes involved with going into Survivor Series. Why blow your load right now? This is exactly what I get mad at AEW for doing all the time when it comes to just running through shit for the sake of running through shit. There's no reason to do that. If you know that you have something else in line that you have planned that you want to get over, go for it. Do it. That's fine. I think there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. You're going to have a killer match with Cody and Gunther most likely later on tonight. No reason to have to blow your load tonight on a match that's just going to get overshadowed by Cody and Gunther. No reason. Absolutely no reason. And that's what happened right here. But like I said, that's just one concept. I think another thing just happened that I'm not sure people peeped on. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Regardless, though, we have so the match started, right? So first off, Kevin Owens is a babyface for life in my eyes for fucking finally stopping that shitty goddamn entrance of Randy Orton. At first it was fun, now it's just getting annoying. Now it's just getting like you're just waiting for it. Now you're just baiting, dude. They've cycled through your fucking chorus like 4 times. They're even drained themselves. Stop. Fuck, they're drained themselves, Randy. Stop. But Kevin ended up attacking him when he was posing in the middle of the ring with a steel chair, right? Beat the dog shit out of him. All the referees, they started to get involved. Like, they're trying to break it up. All this stuff is going on. All this chaos is going on. All this chaos is ensuing. Hold up. Ended up hitting mute on my... ended up turning up my TV by accident. Gotta hit mute. Can't get this copyright strikes. But, during the melee, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis came out to break it up. Why Adam Pearce? Don't know why. But he did come out, and he ended up taking the RKO from Randy Orton, which then had Kevin and Randy still pursue themselves in the audience, beating the dog shit out of each other, right? All this climaxes with Kevin Owens throwing Randy Orton, like actually hitting him in the head with like a, what would you say, like a, the broken piece from an announcement table. That's what it looked like, or a carrier case piece or whatever. He's just headshotting them over and over, and protected headshots, by the way, over and over and over and over again while he's lying on top of a table. He then swings around, jumps on one of the audience stands on the railings, and then hits a frog splash off the railings through Randy Orton through these tables, right? Not a frog splash, but an elbow drop actually, and it takes out Randy. The important part that I think people are missing right now at the moment, it's not just the brawl between Randy and Kevin. That's just one aspect. But Randy in particular hitting an RKO on Adam Pearce. They never touched Nick Aldis. They only touched Adam Pearce. Which tells me going into Survivor Series this year, there's a good shot we're going to get a Raw and SmackDown deal going. I think that's what's going to happen. Now, I don't know how they're going to play out this whole Raw and SmackDown deal, but I think this is the catalyst for a Raw versus SmackDown match or something along the lines that are happening coming up at Survivor Series. Which, if that's the case, that just adds on to an already stacked card. So let me see if I got this understanding right. We're probably going to get the Bloodline in the main event with War Games, right? We have, I would think, theoretically, Cody Rhodes taking on Kevin Owens in something. I don't know if it's a gimmick match or whatever the case may be, because Cody wants to redeem Randy. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that plays a factor into the main event. We'll talk more about that later on. And we have a Raw and SmackDown, because I think that's the whole goal. Like, Adam didn't want to get involved in this, and the SmackDown superstar hit him with an RKO. I think that's the goal that they want to go in regards to this. So that's looking like it's going to be a stacked ass fucking card. We got 3, not confirmed, but 3 matches that seem like they're on the horizon. Bloodline, War Games, Cody and Kevin, and from what it looks like, Raw versus SmackDown. We'll see when we get there, but I have no problem whatsoever with what they did here. I think what they did here, in my opinion, was the appropriate way to go. You knew coming into this that you had a game plan set going into the future, and you wanted to use this as a catalyst to push that forward, because not only did you knew it was going to get overshadowed by Cody and Gunther most likely, but because there was really no reason to go there, so why go there? There's no reason to go there, why go there? So, just saying, people are going to probably bitch and moan on social media. I'm just here to paint out to you that there's a bigger picture, a part of this. Now, obviously, this is going to be an NA. I mean, I can't grade it. They didn't have a match. But I thought, personally, the segment was fine. I thought it did what it had to do. I felt that whatever it needed to accomplish, it accomplished in tenfolds. And this is just, as I said before, a catalyst for bigger and better things. Coming into one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. Think about that, too. It's not like they did this on some random-ass fucking Survivor Series or SummerSlam or Royal Rumble or whatever. They did this on a Saudi show to build to Survivor Series. Keep that in mind too. But it looks like Andrade is coming out right now, so it looks like we have him, Carmelo, and LA Knight coming up next. Yeah, this match had no business being on this card. This match was just the epitome of filler. I thought the Fatal 4-Way tag team match, to me, was like, why is this on this card? Like, why? Like, I get the women match, like with Nia and Liv, obviously, you know, because of the obvious consequences and the rewards that come with it. But I asked, like, what was the point of the women's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match outside of the fact that they wanted to get women on the card? At least that's a purpose. This match doesn't even have that. Like, this match just legitimately felt like it was put on here for the sake of being put on here. This was something that could have easily been scrapped off. This match was sort of kind of boring. Honestly, they came out to the ring and no one gave a fuck about Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. When I say these motherfuckers got so little of a pop, you know what? At least Carmelo, when he came out, because he was the first one to come out, at least the audience reacted to just someone coming out. Andrade, let me tell you what, okay? Let me tell you Andrade. Let me tell you how little of a reaction this motherfucker got, okay? I can actually hear someone fart in the crowd. Not even joking. I promise you, I heard someone fart in the fucking crowd. That's how little of a reaction that Andrade got coming out to the ring. Look. They had the match. They had the crowd. I mean, really, it was more so LA Knight who had the crowd. And they tried some spots. You know, you got a Tope Suicida, you know, the little double moonsault spot from Andrade onto Carmelo and onto LA Knight. Of course, because LA Knight, you can't have it LA Knight at least without one botch, right? At least without one fuck up, at least without one miscommunication. Well, once again, because I don't know why, you would think by, I don't know, the 11th million fucking time of botching this move, bro, you're not Shelton Benjamin, okay? You're not Kurt Angle. You're not a natural athlete. You're 40 years old. Stop doing the springboard from the fucking floor onto the ropes. You clearly can't do it correctly. If you can't do it 100% correct at any given fucking time, then just stop doing the fucking match, bro. Stop doing the fucking match. Stop doing the fucking match. But of course, he's not going to learn his lesson. And of course, he's going to do it again. Okay, so that's what you want to do? Fine. That's what you want to do. Guess what? He botched. Again. Because he's LA Knight. And no matter how many fucking, whoa, you know, it's pretty humid in here, Michael. And, you know, yeah, Saudi Arabia and the ropes are pretty sweaty, you know. Gosh, golly gee, gosh. Nah, bruh. How about his ass just stop doing that damn move, huh? I will say, though, the finish was pretty good. I did fuck with the finish when Carmelo Hayes tried to go for Sin Cara's old spinning around fucking face buster, or whatever the fuck he calls it. He spinned around, fell on his feet, and as soon as he landed on his feet, LA Knight hit him with the BFT, but because his arms were locked around Andrade's head, he ended up hitting the BFT on Andrade also. So he'll hit the BFT on Carmelo, which made Carmelo, whose hands were still interlocked with Andrade's head, to hit a BFT on him also. And then he pinned Carmelo Hayes to win the match. I fuck with the finish. That's the only good thing about this match was the finish. But everything else about this match, nope. Nada. Nope. Sorry, Bob. You could have absolutely done without this match, and quite frankly, you wasted everybody's time. You wasted, I mean, because it's not even just the fact that you had the match, but also, like, I mean, you had the match and LA Knight won the match. Not that I'm saying LA Knight shouldn't have won the match. I presume he was going to win the match anyways, but it's just like, I mean, just more of a reason as to why this shouldn't have been on the card, and it legitimately served no purpose whatsoever. But I mean, most people probably call for the fact that, you know, you should have got this match on the card and could have probably just had the match with Randy and Kevin Owens. Nope. Still agree with the fact that Kevin and Randy should happen the way it happened. Just this match shouldn't have been on the card. Maybe you could have got another women's match on here. Maybe you could have got a tag team match on here. Don't give a fuck. Still don't disagree. Still disagree with the fact that Randy and Kevin should have had their match. They should have, okay? They should have not had a match. I need to go use the bathroom. Let's get to the main event. Fuck, I'm talking way too much and spending way too much time on the match. That means absolutely nothing. Let's go. I gotta go take a shit. Be right back. Okay, so I'm going to keep my eyes out while watching the pre-show stuff to see whether or not we're going to get a follow-up on anything in regards to the Cody Rhodes and Gunther match. Because if this is how it's going to end, this is very, very lackluster. I don't care how good the match was. And honestly, to be fair, it wasn't a bad match. Don't get it twisted. It was a fine match, but it was kind of underwhelming. I don't know, like, you see Cody Rhodes and Gunther, you expect something close to a 5-star classic. You know what I mean? I feel like we didn't really get that here. Again, it wasn't a bad match. It was a fine match. It just felt like they were just kind of, I don't know, like going through the motions a little bit. You know what I mean? It could have been I felt like I don't know. I feel like they were holding back. And don't get it twisted. The things that actually happened during the match in itself were not bad. You know what I mean? I fuck with that finish a lot. That's a great fucking finish. I love how the finish played out. And the stuff that they were doing, it wasn't necessarily bad. You know, a bunch of chain wrestling, bunch of catch wrestling for the most part. Very Greco-Roman style. Not too much European style, to be honest with you, especially given who the person is. Gunther, you would think it'll be more like European uppercuts and all this stuff. Not necessarily. You know, again, I can't tell you anything spectacular that happened in the match outside of the finish, but it was just the way they wrestled the match was very fundamentally sound. It's very hard to explain. Again, it's hard to explain. I like the match. Again, it's just one of those deals where it's like it could have been a hell of a lot more than what it is. I'm talking to you guys at the same time. I'm trying to multitask. I'm focusing on you guys, and I'm also looking at the stuff that's happening currently right now on the television too. Again, I just want something that would have been something of a cliffhanger coming out of this versus what it appears as if what we're getting right now, which is essentially nothing. I don't think we're going to get anything. I think this is pretty much it. I think what we see here is what we get. And I think that's a shame. I think there's more that could have came out of this match versus what we've seen. And, you know, can I conflate this with something then? Can I conflate this? It's think of this as like a video within a video in itself. I won't talk too long about this, but let's talk about Cody Rhodes now. I think it's now appropriate to talk about Cody Rhodes, right? He's been champion for over 6 months now, close to 7 months. I'm not fucking with Cody Rhodes' title reign. I think it's been long enough. We've seen a couple of things. We've seen what he's done so far. We've seen the stories that he's been a part of. We've seen the matches that he's taken part of. I'm not fucking with his title reign. I'm simply not. You know, it feels like everything that he participates in is very lackadaisical. It feels like every time you have anything in regards to Cody Rhodes and anything that's a part of Cody Rhodes, it just feels like it's underwhelming as fuck outside of the Bloodline stuff. You know what I mean? Anything that's not dealing with the Bloodline, anything that's dealing with Cody Rhodes having to carry a story or a match on his own, it just feels lackluster. It does. It really does. And I've been very quiet on this because I see a lot of people, you know, especially within my neck of the woods, crapping and shitting on Cody Rhodes' title reign. And, you know, each time I tell myself, okay, let's just see the next one. Let's see the next one. Let's see the next one. And I've had mixed feelings on Cody Rhodes' title reign as of late, but seeing this Gunther match and seeing like how underwhelming it is, and then seeing what came out of it, which is pretty much nothing to get you attached to want to go into SmackDown. And mind you, I'm not here to necessarily blame Cody Rhodes. I feel Cody Rhodes has all the attributes and all the tools in the world to carry whatever you give him to carry, but his creative. Triple H is not doing good by this man. He's not doing good by this man. You know what I mean? You know, and I get it. The whole goal is supposed to be that he's this new age John Cena, right? He's supposed to be this new age good guy. I get it. I understand it. I know what Triple H is trying to do. He wants him to be his John Cena. He wants him to be his Stone Cold Steve Austin. He wants him to be his Hulk Hogan. You know, he sees himself as Vince McMahon and Cody Rhodes is as his Hulk Hogan. But it's just Cody does not... Man, how do I put this? Because it's not just the creative. It's like, I feel like Cody doesn't necessarily have the aura. Is that the best way? I think that's the word I keep hearing being dumped nowadays on most wrestlers, right? I feel that he doesn't have the aura present in order to get over whatever he is supposed to get over. I see him right now. He's driving in a cart with Liv Morgan. I'm hoping something comes out of this. Again, can we get Kevin Owens to attack him? Anything. Give me something worth a damn to sink my teeth into. This just can't be the way that it is. So they're driving outside right now in like this caravan of, I don't know, trailers. He's talking to Liv Morgan. I can't tell you what they're talking about, nor do I care. Here, let me see what this is. I'm gonna follow up on this in a minute because I want to give this a shot. If nothing follow up, I gotta continue what I'm saying though. This is ridiculous. All right, okay, we're just gonna end it right here. Fuck it, because I think they're gonna do a ceremony with the belts, as I said beforehand. Later on, if something were to pop up, I don't know. You guys will see it and you'll talk about it in the comment section, man. I'm hoping though, like Kevin Owens attacks him or something, because this just can't be the way. This felt like you know what this felt to me like, honestly. You know what this whole show felt like to me? Not just Cody Rhodes' title reign so far, not all this. This just felt like a huge propaganda piece for Saudi Arabia. Like, is it just me? I can't be the only one who looks at this show and just feels like this is just a whole PR stunt. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I don't really have more. I mean, usually for the main events, I like to, kind of hammer on a point. But again, I have nothing to hammer on, bruh. I have nothing to hammer on. Just. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I don't know what to tell you. This didn't really hit it for me. I don't know what to tell you, man. But typically I like to go a little bit longer on these main events, but I have not much to say. Honestly, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys in the comment section. This show just felt like a huge propaganda piece for me. It felt like the epitome of filler. I don't think anyone who missed this show missed out on anything. If you paid for the show outside of the Peacock Network, you're an absolute doof. You're an idiot. You're a moron. Yeah, just there was nothing, anything like at least with the AEW shows, there's something to rant and rave and like, this is stupid, this is funny, retarded, these people are dumb as shit. Like, there's something to get emotional about, something that you feel like, about. With this show right here, it just felt like nothing. Like, there was just pure nothingness. I think that's the best way to explain it. This was just pure nothing. It was just a boring show with nothing of significance that came out of it. But like I said, if anything happens with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens coming out of this show, you guys should talk about it amongst each other in the comment section. But if you want to come back to watch this show, there's really nothing to come back to. There's nothing on this show that was just like outright terrible, to be honest with you. It was just all boring. It was all TV matches. It was all nothing of substance. And honestly, outside of the Kevin Owens and Randy Orton stuff, it was nothing progressing anything, man. That's all I got to say about it. So, hey, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to how you felt about the show. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces and a P. Eyes.